This call is now being recorded. With increasing hope and piquing excitement and delightful, enthusiastic soul spreaded, there is no season so delightful when such a pleasant and positive morning sports lighted on and produce so much pleasant vibes of soul full of positivity. There is no other way to start an auspicious occasion than with that of a hospitable welcome. I hereby call upon Dr. T. Sarvanakumar, Assistant Professor of Department of Mathematics, to offer a glad welcome note.
So good morning, everyone. Respected principal, respected chief guest, respected head of the department, and faculty members, and my dear students. I feel honored to welcome you all to this function, Strategy to Succeed in CSIR NET, STATE, and GATE exams. It is our pleasure to invite a guest of honor, Dr. P. Prabhakaran, Assistant Professor of Mathematics, Banariaman Institute of Technology. We are grateful for the acceptance of our department's invitation and for sharing your valuable time with us. Moreover, our chief guest is expert in the domain of algebra. He has been qualified CSIR NET, SET, GATE exams. So you all may getting an idea about the competitive exams so through this function. So one more time, I welcome you all with warm words of togetherness. Thank you all. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. People with great inspiration take you to the corners of your smiles, to the highest of your hopes, to the windows of your opportunities, and to the most special places your heart has ever known. Happy morning, everyone. Today, at this productive session, I'm profusely overjoyed to take this opportunity to introduce our honorable chief guest of the day, Dr. P. Prabhakaran, Assistant Professor at Department of Mathematics at Banariaman Institute of Technology, Satyamahalam. He has completed his Bachelor of Science in Mathematics at Shanmuga Industries Arts and Science College, Tiruvannamalai, and later completed his Master of Science in Mathematics at Periyar University, and also has done his Master of Philosophy in Mathematics at Periyar University, and went on to complete his Doctor of Philosophy in Mathematics at the same university at January 2018. He has also cracked a number of competitive exams, including CSIR National Eligibility Test, lectureship for assistant professor on December 2019, and qualified in graduate aptitude test in engineering on March 2015, and also qualified in Tamil Nadu State Eligibility Test on October 2012, and holds a university research fellowship from 2014 to 2016. He has also been specialized in the area of homological algebra and commutative algebra. With research experience of about 4 years and 2 months, he also holds the teaching experience by teaching as an assistant professor in Department of Mathematics at ERK Arts and Science College, Dharmapuri from 2017 to 2018. He's currently working as an assistant professor in Department of Mathematics at Banariaman Institute of Technology, started from 2018. He has also published about 4 journals, and 2 more papers are under review. He has also presented his paper in a number of national and international conferences, and also took part in a number of conferences, workshops, which helped him gain a lot of knowledge and develop his resource, which helped him to organize and conduct more conference and workshop by taking lead. He's also completed about 3 online certification courses of NPTEL. It's really so great to have such an amazing personality over this productive session. With sole delightment, I would like to call upon our chief guest to take over the section. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your introduction. Shall I share my screen, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can share.
My screen is visible, right, sir?
No, 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 sir. No, sir.
Just now it is visible, sir.
That is, I think you can go to the button, sir. There is no more options in the scaring screen like that. So,
Okay. Just a minute. Just. Now, sir, now it is visible, sir.
No, sir, no, sir. The PPT, already having PPT, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir,
Just don't.
I have given presentation, sorry, present screen, entire screen, sir, entire screen option.
Okay, we can go like that. But no more screen is there, sir. That's why.
Otherwise, I will do one thing. Just a minute. Just a minute, sir. Now it is visible, sir.
No, sir, no, sir.
Yes, sir, I can see your screen. This is Nataraj.
Yeah,
Dr. Sarang, so
I think my screen is now visible, right?
yeah, it's visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It's visible, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, so first of all, I would like to thank the management and Department of Mathematics of Commodore Arts and Science College for giving me this opportunity to deliver this lecture. And particularly, I would like to thank the head of the department and Dr. Saravana Kumar sir for their invitation. Okay, so in this lecture, I'm going to share some of my knowledge in the competitive exams such as CSER NET, STET, and GATE exams. Okay, so I think most of the participants are PG students, I think so. Okay, so after your post-graduation, some of you may select either of these two career options. I'm not saying all of you, I'm saying some of you. Okay, so may select higher studies or lecturer in your college, right? So some people may choose as a teacher, like to work as a teacher in your school. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about that. Okay, so anyway, if you are selecting either of these two career options, you need some additional support. Okay, so then in that case, these exams will highly support you. Okay, for example, if you are selecting the higher studies option, then what are the options are there? You can go for Master of Philosophy or Doctor of Philosophy, right? But our in our new educational policy, they are going to remove the Master of Philosophy. So the only higher studies option will be Doctor of Philosophy. Okay, so in that case, you need some financial support, right? So for doing PhD, so in that case, these exams, CSER, UGC National Eligibility Test, and GATE exams will support you. And if you are selecting the career option lecturer in a college, then your master degree will not be enough, right? So with your master degree, you can't able to work as a assistant professor or any other in any college. Okay, so in that case, you need some additional weightage or additional qualification. Okay, so for that you have to you need to qualify either national eligible test or state eligible test. Okay. So okay, so first one, CSER UGC net. Initially it was CSER net, but nowadays UGC also combinedly organizing. So it is called CSER UGC National Eligibility Test. Okay, so this examination would be conducted for determining the eligibility of two categories. One is JRF, that is Junior Research Fellowship, and second one for lectureship. Okay, so JRF is the eligibility to get fellowship for your during your PhD program, during your entire PhD program, and lectureship is the eligibility for the lectureship position in Indian university or colleges. Okay, so for both these category, the exam is same. Okay, so but the cutoff marks will be vary. Okay, the cutoff marks for lectureship will be very less, not very less, less. Comparing to the JRF. Okay, so if you the cutoff mark for junior research fellowship will be more. Okay, okay, some 20 marks difference will be there. Okay, so the same examination, based on your marks, you may qualify either JRF or lectureship. Okay, some marks difference will be there. Okay, okay, so also once if you are qualifying JRF, then it is also include the lectureship. Okay, so if you are qualified JRF, then you are also eligible for lectureship. But if you are qualifying lectureship, you may not be qualified. You will not qualified JRF. Okay, so okay, so that's all. Okay, so we will briefly discuss about the fellowship amount and other things later. Okay. So these are the okay. So mainly CSIR UGC NET conducted for these two categories. Okay. Okay. So next we will discuss some more general information about these exams. First, exam frequency. Okay, so yearly twice they are conducting the CSIR UGC National Eligible Test. One is in the June month, another one is in the December month. Okay, and then the mode of examination will be in online mode. Okay, online mode conducted by NTA. NTA is the abbreviation of NTA is the National Testing Agency. It is a testing agency. Okay, so they will only conduct the exams. Okay, so they are conducting lot of exams. Even NEET exam also they are conducting. Okay, so the medical entrance exam also they are conducting. And okay, so particularly CSIR UGC NET also they are conducting. Okay, so initially the mode of exam was on offline mode. In that case, only 2 centers was there in Tamil Nadu. One is in Chennai, another one is in Karaikudi. But nowadays they converted into online mode. So NTA offering lot of centers in Tamil Nadu, like Coimbatore, Salem, etc. So you can get more opportunity to write the exams. Okay, so due to online mode. Okay, okay. So also the exam paper will be the single paper MCQ test. Okay, so all the question will be multiple choice questions. Okay, so with a maximum of 200 marks. Okay. So that is the question paper pattern. All the questions are MCQ, multiple choice questions. Okay. So the total number of duration for the exams will be 3 hours. Okay. So 3-hour online test, and these are the fee structures for online application. For general category, it is 1,000 rupees. For OBC, 500, and SCST, it is 250 rupees for online applications. And what is the eligibility to write that exam? Okay, so those who are completed with a master degree, those who are completed MSc with at least 55% in the category general 10 or OBC are eligible. Also, MSc with 50% of marks with the, in the SC/ST category or physically handicapped category.
Sir?
Sir?
Sir, you
Yes,
having
sir?
means you can show them, sir. Then easily they understand what you are speaking like that, sir.
What, sir? I'm not understood.
Slide, you can show them, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm showing the slide, sir. You are not able to see.
No, sir. No, we can't see the slide, sir.
Sir, I am presenting my slide, sir.
No. So only.
Only are you hearing my voice only?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's why.
Sir, I am okay, sir. Just a minute. I don't know what is the problem. Sir?
You can share, sir. You can presenting either mobile or computer, sir.
In laptop only, I'm presenting, sir. I'm presenting my screen only, sir.
No, sir. In the slide, you just click that, sir. Share. Then after that, you can share, sir.
Just a minute, sir.
I think it is visible for us, sir.
Yes, sir. I think other people are seeing my slide, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm seeing that, sir. Just give
I
slide
think
to the
Saravana Kumar sir, you are having some problem. I think.
Then if
Sir,
No,
whether it's
Dr. Prabhakaran, this is Natarajan. I think you are in the first slide. I believe, right? I think you must go to presentation mode on the slide, and then
okay, okay,
so that you can go through.
okay, sir, okay, sir. Just a minute. Sir, now my screen is visible, sir.
Yes,
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 sir.
yeah. So you can go to
So
presentation mode. Yeah, now,
also the presentation is moving, right?
yeah.
Okay. So okay.
Now it's
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
So anyway, I will start with from the beginning. Okay. So as I told, if you are choosing these career options, then these 3 exams will highly support you. So we will discuss. First, we discuss about CSR UGC NET. So this exam is conducted for 2 categories. One is for Junior Research Fellowship (JRF), and other one is for lectureship. So this is a eligibility for getting the fellowship during the PhD program, and this is eligible for lectureship position in Indian universities or colleges. So next is the general information about the CRE exam. So they are in yearly tests. Okay, one is in the June month and another one is in the December. And mode of examination is online mode conducted by National Testing Agency. So also the question paper is a single paper MCQ test. That means multiple choice. All the questions will be the multiple choice questions, and for a maximum of 200 marks. Okay, so the duration will be 3 hours, and these are the online application fee structures. So next, the eligibility criteria is MSc with 50% of marks for general category and OBC category, and MSc with 50% of mark for SC/ST and physical handicap candidates. And those who are studying in the final year MSc students also eligible to write the exams. Okay, so those who are doing final year MSc or after completion of your MSc, you can write exams. Okay, and the age limit maximum of 28 years for JR. Okay, so JRF is the eligible for getting fellowship, right? So that is why they are fixing some age limit, and that is maximum of 28. Up to 28 age, you can write the exam for getting JRF. Okay, but there is no age limit for lectureship. Okay, so you can write at any time. Okay, so after your PG, you can write at any age. Okay. So next, that stipend in JRF and SRF. Okay, so once if you are qualified in JRF and if you are joining the PhD in any college, you can claim the JRF amount. Okay, so they are offering 31,000 per month. Okay, for if you are joining PhD to complete the PhD, it will take 3 to 5 years, right? So for the initial 2 years, they are offering 31,000 per month, and then for the remaining 3 years, they are you can convert into SRF. Okay, so Senior Research Fellowship. Okay, so that in that case, you will get 35,000 per month. And also you will get some contingency HRA amount. Okay, so using this amount, you can purchase the necessary things for your PhD. Okay, so you can purchase printer, books, everything. Okay, so this is additional amount you will get. Okay. So these are the stipend details about JRF. And then this is a detailed question paper pattern for CSIR UGC National Eligibility Test. Okay, so there are 3 parts. Okay, Part A, Part B, Part C. So Part A is the general aptitude. Okay, so general aptitude is also related with mathematics, but general mathematics, for example, time problems. There are some, all of you know the general aptitude questions, right? Mathematics questions. Okay, so there are totally 20 general aptitude max questions are there in part A. So among that, you can able to write only 15. If you are writing more than 15, the first 15 only they will take. Okay, so they will valid. Okay, so among 20 MCQ, among 20 general aptitude, you can write 15. For each question, you will get 2 marks. Okay, so there are totally 30 marks you can score maximum in part E. Okay, so next part B and part C are based on your our core subject, that is mathematics papers. Okay, so in part B there are 40 questions. Among that you can write any 25. Okay, so 25 into 3 you will get 75. Maximum you will get 75 marks. Okay, so in part B, for each question you will get 3 marks. Okay, so for 40 in part A you will get 2 marks. In part B you will get 3 marks. All are MCQ. Okay, so in part C there are 60 questions. Among that you can write any 20, and for each question you will get 4.75 marks. Okay, so there is a problem in part C. What is that? It is nothing but actually even though it is a multiple MCQ question, but there may be more than one correct option. For example, if you are having 4 option A, B, C, D, sometimes A, B, C, both 3 will be correct. Okay, so you have to mark all the correct option. Okay, so if you are selecting some wrong answer, or if you are not selecting some correct answer, you will not get any mark. You will get 0. Okay, so it is only why they are including this kind of question means they are testing the depth knowledge about the particular subject. Okay, so that is why they are making this kind of questions. See, sometimes we know 2 correct options, but we don't know the other 2 anything about the other 2 options. In that case, there is a maximum chance to get 0 mark for that question, because we can't able to select correctly, right? Okay, so that is why they are giving 4.75 marks in this part C. Okay, so 4.75 into 20, you will get 95 marks. Okay, so there totally you will get 200 marks. Okay, so maximum 200 marks you will get. So there are negative marks for each category, each part. But part A, if you are selecting some wrong answer, you will get 0.5 negative marks. Okay, that means half marks will be reduced. Okay, so and then part B, 0.75 marks will be the negative marks, and part C, there is no negative marks, because it is highly difficult to answer the questions, right? So that's why they are not giving any negative marks in part C. Okay. So these are the detailed question paper pattern of CSIR UGC NET. Okay, so next, this is a cutoff range for the eligible test. Okay, so for JRF category, for general 10, it is the cutoff range, that is the cutoff percentage will be 50 to 55%. That means you are writing the exam for 200 marks, right? So 50 to 55% means in terms of marks, it will be 100 to 110 marks. Okay, for getting JRF. I'm not saying it is an exact cutoff. It will vary. Okay, so this is generalized. Okay. Okay, so in general, this will be the cutoff. Okay, so for OBC category, for getting JRF, your cutoff marks, cutoff range will be 40 to 50%. In terms of marks, it will be 800. Okay, for SC/ST, these are cutoffs. Okay, for lectureship, it will be less. Comparing to the JRF, it will be somewhat less. Some 10 to 20 marks will be less. Okay, so the cutoff. Marks for lectureship in general category, it will be 80 to 100, and then for OBC it is 70 to 90. It will be for SC/ST, these are the cutoff marks. Okay, so among the 200 marks, if you are scoring 100 marks, definitely you will get either JRF or lectureship. Okay, so 50% of marks you try to score. Okay, at least 90 marks you have to try to score. Then you will get lectureship or JRF. Okay, so these are the general cutoff marks for CSIR UGC NET, and then this is subject-wise marks weightage. Okay, so as I told earlier, there are three parts. Part A is the general aptitude, so you can leave it. Part B and Part C are our core subject, mathematics paper, right? So in that Part B and Part C, there are 4 units: Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, Unit 4. In Part B as well as in Part C. Okay, so in Unit 1, they will majorly asking the question from real analysis and linear algebra. Okay, so most of the questions from this subject. Okay, so 1 or 2 questions may be from other subject, for example topology and number theory. Only 1 or 2 questions will be there, but major number of questions will be from these two subjects, real analysis and linear algebra. Similarly, in Unit 2, they will ask a number of questions from abstract algebra and then complex analysis. Okay, so in Unit 3, differential equation, that is ODE and PDE, ordinary differential equation and partial differential equation, and then integral equation. Okay, so these are the major topics asked in Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, but I am not included anything in Unit 4. Actually, Unit 4 majorly focusing on probability and statistics and operational research. But this unit is majorly for those who are doing MSc statistics. Actually, there is a separate department, statistics, and those students are also eligible for writing these exams. Actually, that exam is for mathematical sciences. Okay, so they will also comes under this category. So this unit is majorly for those who are doing MSc statistics. Okay, so even though we are studying these topics, but the questions will be somewhat tough. Okay, because they are purely focusing on the statistics students. Okay, so they will not ask the basic question; they will ask some difficult questions in that category. So you can omit this 4th unit, but you can concentrate on these first 3 units. Okay, so among these first 3 units, you can select 2 units. 2 units is enough to qualify the exams. Okay, so some of you may be interested in that applied mathematics, for example, differential equation and integral equation. Some of you may interested in the pure mathematics, for example, algebra or analysis. Okay, so you can choose any two units, and if you are preparing in the 2 units, it is enough to qualify. Okay, so I have majorly focused on the first 2 units. Okay, so yeah, always try to focus on the first 2 units. Okay, so these are the number of marks and then the marks range of the unit wise. Okay, so if you're for example Unit 1, there is maximum 40 to 50 marks questions will be there from real analysis, and then linear algebra 40 to 50 marks will be there, linear algebra questions, and then similarly these are the number of marks range unit wise. Okay, so in that if you are concentrating on any 2 units, it is enough. Okay, that's all. Okay, so this is a subject wise marks weightage. Okay, so these are the general details about the exam CSER UGC NET exam. Okay. So next one, state eligible test, but I'm not included anything about state eligible test. Why? Because they are not conducting frequently; they are conducting occasionally, and they are not following any standard procedure for conducting these exams. Whenever they require, they are conducting. Okay, so the syllabus for the set exam is same as NET. Okay, so same syllabus, but the thing is this exam was conducted by our state government through the state universities. So the question papers are questions are direct questions. Okay, so they will not ask questions, they will ask direct results. Okay, so even though the syllabus are same, preparing for NET exam and then for set exam will be different. Both are having same syllabus, but it is different. So preparing for the exams will be different, because for NET exams you can concentrate on any two units, and then you have to study with depth. Okay, but for state eligible test, you have to concentrate on all the topics. Okay, you have to concentrate on all the topics, because they will ask direct question and they will cover all the topics. Okay, So you need to cover entire syllabus. Okay, so that's all. Actually, in 2012, Bharatiyar University conducted one state eligibility test. After that, Mother Teresa University conducted 3 times. One is in 2016. Okay, so 3 times they conducted. After that, they are not state eligible test. Okay, so once if you are qualified state eligible test, then you can eligible to work as a lecturer in any college in Tamil Nadu. Okay, but if you are qualifying national eligible test, you will be eligible to work as a lecturer in all over the India. Okay, so that is a different. It is state level, it is national level. Okay, so that's all. So I'm not going to say more about this exam because they are not following any standard procedures. Okay, so they are changing frequent. Okay, so next one more thing is one more exam is graduate aptitude test in engineering, that is GATE exam. Actually this exam is majorly focusing on engineering students. Okay, so this exam is highly support the engineering student, but for maths, physics, chemistry also they are conducting the exam, the GATE exams. Okay, so the benefits of GATE exam is it is a eligibility to join PhD in IITs, NITs. That means the Indian Institute of Technology and National Institute of Technology, Indian Institute of. So there are so many central government institutions of there. Okay, so in that you can join PhD with the help of GATE score. Okay, so if you have qualified GATE, you can apply PhD in this institution. You will not get any direct fellowship from GATE, but once if you are joining in this institution, you will get some fellowship from the institution. Yeah, institution. Okay, so also you can get more job opportunities if you have completed your PhD in this standard institution. Okay, so that's all. Okay. So one more benefits of GATE is you can join in project scheme. Okay, so second one project scheme. Okay, so some professor will apply the funding for doing research work. So in that case, they may get some project. They may get some financial support. For example, 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, like that. So in that they will need some project assist. Okay, so at the time they will call for project assist. Then you can apply if you are qualified GATE. They are recruiting the project assist based on the GATE. Okay, so if you are qualifying GATE, you can apply and you can join in that project scheme, and then you will get fellowship from that project amount. Okay, also you can register your PhD. Okay, so if you are qualifying GATE, then you can join in the project scheme as well as you can do the PhD in that project scheme. Okay, so that is one more benefit. And third one, there are some central government posting. For example, junior scientist and ONGC, that is Oil and National Gas Corporation, and DRDO, some other central government job opportunities are there. So they are recruiting through your GATE exams, GATE score. Okay, so ONGC, DRDO, and then junior scientist. There are some other government, central government posting also there based on. Okay. So these are the benefits of exam. Now we will see the general information about. Now we will see the general information about the exam. Just a minute. Okay. Okay, so exam frequency yearly once they are conducting. Okay, so every year February month they are conducting the exam, and most exams are also online test with a maximum of 200 marks. Sorry, not 200, 100 marks. Okay, so it is also online mode exam, and they are conducting the test for 100 marks. Okay, so duration of the exam will be 3 hours, and here some questions will be MCQ. Actually, it is not MCQ. Multiple select questions. Okay, and then some numerical answer type questions will be there. For example, some fill in the blanks questions will be there. So in that you have to enter your answer. Okay, so MCQ as well as numerical type questions will be there. the eligibility is those who are doing first year MSc. Actually, initially up to last year, it was only those who are doing final year MSc was eligibility for appearing the exam. In GATE 2021, they gave the relaxation for the eligibility. They also include the first year MSc students. Okay, so those who are doing first year MSc or second year MSc or after completion of MSc, you can eligible to write this exam. So that's okay. So that is the eligibility criteria. Okay, so age limit is there is no age limit. Okay, so you can write the exam at any time. Okay, so these are the fee structures: online fees exams, online application fees, and then one of the important thing in GATE is the certificate will be valid for only 3 years. Okay, so once you are qualified GATE exam, within 3 years you have to join in any one of the institution. Okay, any one of the central government institution. You have to register your PhD. Okay, so after 3 years, your certificate will be not valid. Will not be valid. Then you have to write one more time. Okay, so if you want to qualify. Okay, so I forgot to include one more thing in the JRF. Actually, in the JRF also, once if you are qualified JRF, then you have to join the PhD within 3 years. Okay, so then only you can able to claim your what is that JRF amount. Okay, so that fellowship. Okay, so if you are not joined within 3 years, you will not claim the amount. You will not be able to claim the amount. Okay, but you will be eligible for lectureship. Lectureship will be valid for lifelong. Okay, so validity for lectureship will be for lifelong, but JRF will be only for 3 years. Okay, so like that here also your GATE certificate will be valid for only 3 years. Okay, so within 3 years you have to join your PhD. We have to register your PhD. Okay, okay. So this is a question paper pattern for the GATE exam. So there are two categories. Sorry. Okay, so two parts. One is general aptitude. Okay, so second one is pure math, our core subject. Okay, so in that 5 1-mark questions will be there in general aptitude. Sorry, there are totally 15 general aptitude questions. Among that, 5 1-mark question and 5 2-mark question. Okay, so in part B, that is our core subject, there are 85 questions will be there. Sorry, 85 marks question will be there. 25 1-mark question and then 32 mark question. Okay, so for MCQ question in part A, sorry, in 1-mark question, if you are selecting wrong answer, you will get 0.33 marks negative. Okay, and in 2-mark question, if you are selecting the wrong answer, you will get 0.5 negative marks. So this negative marks is only applicable for MCQ question. Okay, for numerical type question there will not be any negative mark. Okay, so only for MCQ questions you may get negative marks. Okay, so your maximum cutoff range will be 20 to 40. This will be the cutoff mark for qualifying GATE exam. Okay, so out of 100, if you are getting marks 20 to 40, the cutoff will be vary. Okay, so it is not fixed. Okay, so based on the question paper, the cutoff will vary. If it is easy, the cutoff will be more. Okay, so this is a general cutoff. Okay, so when I am qualified, the cutoff will be 22. Okay, so that's okay. In 2015 GATE. Okay, for mathematics, 22 is the cutoff. Okay. So out of 100, it is easy to get 22, right? But you have to study all the topics in the syllabus. Okay. So that's all about GATE exams. Okay. Next, I will give some suggestions about the GATE study material for this exam. So first of all, best study material is your PG textbooks. Okay. So I hope all of you know the textbook of your PG subjects, right? For example, abstract algebra, you can use S10 topics in algebra. So like that, all the subjects having the textbooks, right? So for example, topology, you can refer to Mumtaz. So like that, each subject, some standard textbook will be there. You can refer that books. And then very, very important thing is you have to collect all the previous year question papers, okay, with the key. Key means the final answer, okay. You have to collect all the previous year question papers. So that is the very important study material for attending the competitive exams, okay. And then based on this previous year question papers, you have to make your own notes, okay. You have to prepare your own study material. That means you have to collect the questions, previous year questions, and then you have to segregate topic wise, okay, and then you have to try to solve, okay. So for that you can refer any book or any reference, but you have to make your own study material. So these things are very important study material for attending any competitive, okay. Particularly you have to analyze the previous year question papers, okay. So what type of questions they are asking, from which topic they are repeatedly asking the questions. So like that you have to analyzing the previous questions is very important for attending the question. Also you have to know question paper pattern, okay. So what are the pattern of the question paper, okay. So that is also very important, okay. So next one is I will give some tips to qualify, so to attend these exams. First one, you should get some clear view about the question paper. Okay, so as I have mentioned here, so like this, you have to know all the details about the question paper. Okay, so what type of question they will ask, what are the negative marks. So from part A, what type of questions will be there? From part B, what types of questions will be there? Like that, you have to know the clear view about the question paper pattern. Okay, so that is the first thing you have to follow. You have to study. Okay, so next, analyze the previous year question paper. This is very important. Okay, so you have to at least you have to collect last 10 years question paper. Okay, for example, GATE exams are conducting from the year 1995, I think so. So a lot of question papers are available. A lot of previous year question papers are available in the internet itself. You can collect it, and then you have to analyze the question paper. Okay, so make your own study material. So this is based on the previous year question paper. You have to prepare your own study material. You can refer any material, any material from the internet or anything, but you have to prepare your own notes, okay, own material. Okay, you just allot some note, and then you have to subject wise, topic wise, you have to collect the question papers from the questions from the previous year question papers, and you have to solve that questions. Okay, so like that you have to, and also you have to make also you have to write the important results. You need to solve that questions. Okay, so that material is very important. Okay, so so make your own study material and focus on repeated questions and topics. Okay, so in every question paper there will be some repeated topics and repeated question papers in all the questions, because they will not ask any new thing. Anyway, they will repeat in the sense they will not ask the same question, they will ask the same what is that concept. Okay, so they will ask the same concept, so you have to focus on those concepts. Okay, so repeated questions and repeated topics. Okay, so and then avoid to get the negative marks in the exam. So this is also very important. Why? Because some people are attending all the questions. Okay, so they're losing all the marks in the negative marks. Okay, so you try to avoid getting the negative marks. So because all the exams have some negative marks questions, right? So whenever you are attending those kind of questions, if you are 100% sure, then only you have to you have to answer the question. Okay, so try to avoid the negative marks. So these are the very important tips whenever you are going to write the exams. Okay, so finally I will tell the that exams. So this is a strategy I have followed. Only strategy. Okay, analyze the previous year question papers and prepare your own material. Okay, so this is the strategy I have followed to succeed all the exams, so all other exams. Okay, so this is my personal strategy. I'm not saying this agenda. So you can, I'm suggesting you can also follow this strategy. Okay, so that's all. So you have to collect the previous year question paper. You have to make your own study material. Okay, for that you can refer any other sources. Okay, if you need some additional notes or some additional support, I will recommend one what is it, academy, that is called DIPS Academy. Okay, DIPS, DIPS, DIPS Academy.
So
Okay,
it
so
is
this is
Delhi,
a
sir.
yeah, it is Delhi, sir. Actually, this is the #1 coaching center in Tamil Nadu for test, and in every exams the top 10 ranking students will be comes from this academy. Okay, so they are offering a lot of study materials. Also in YouTube there are many lecture videos from this academy. You can refer it. In that videos they will solve the previous year question papers. They will not explain the concept. They will solve the previous year question papers with the required what is that, required results. Okay, so you can follow this DIPS Academy notes and study materials, and there are infinite number of materials are available for available in the internet for this all these exams. You can refer it, but you have to make own material. That is very important. Okay, so that's all about. Okay, so with this conclude my lecture. If you are having any doubts or clarification, you can ask me. Not only these are the exams, there are many other exams also. For example, NBHM, National Board of Higher Mathematics, TAFR. So lot of other, sorry, TAFR. So lot of other exams also there, but three exams, set and get math. This is also for mathematics. For math they are conducting. Okay, National Board of Higher Mathematics, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. So there are so many exams. You will get fellowship for your PhD program. Okay, so you can join in the central institution and then you will get fellowships. Okay, so that's all. Apart from these exams, there are separate fellowship schemes also there. For example, for SC/ST students, they are giving Rajiv Gandhi National Fellowship, and for those who are those who are getting gold medal, they are offering Inspire Fellowship, and there are a lot of other fellowship schemes also there. You can search it in the internet. Okay, so that's all. Suppose if you need any help regarding these exams, you can contact me in this mail ID, Prabhakaran, PRABAKARAN HRM@gmail.com. Okay, so if you want that previous year question papers for these three exams and other study materials, you just send your request mail to this mail ID and I will send it. Okay, so if you need any other help also, I'm ready to do that. Okay, so you can contact me in this mail ID. Okay, PRABAKARANHRM@gmail.com. This is my personal mail ID. You can contact me any day. Okay. So these are the things I want to say. So if you are having any doubts or clarification, you can ask me now.
So students, if you're having any questions, please kindly ask our resource person.
Hello everyone, this is Natarajan. I may not belongs to Kamathenu group, but I would like to thank Kamathenu institution for arranging this one. It's really an interesting topic. Myself, Natarajan, I am a research fellow at SETS Chennai. So I'm seriously looking for this competitive exam, CSIR and NET set things. So I thank Dr. Prabhakaran also. Sir, it would be great if you could arrange another session which is little deep inside. So like a strategy, because I'm sure we cannot
Yes, sir.
all
Yes, sir.
it. So I'm not sure what your recommendation is, but I'm definitely it is very difficult to go with all the subject in preparation, strong preparation. Maybe there is a strategy people are
Yes,
following
sir.
a couple of subjects which are strong, then we can go. So maybe another deep session may require to understand it for students as well as the public audience. So I would like to thank Kamden, head of the department, and the faculty members for arranging this. Thank you.
So especially first year students who have, if you have any questions, please kindly ask our resource person. Yeah. You don't have any questions? Okay. Thank you, sir. It is really very useful to us. Okay. So, moreover, we would like to thank you for your wonderful time spending with us.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Once again, I thank Department of Mathematics and the head of the department, Saravana Kumar sir, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your valuable session, sir. Thank you, sir.
This is
Thank
the
you,
madam,
ma'am.
sir,
Thank you.
head of the department.
Thank you.
Prabhakaran, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know this. Yes, sir. I know, sir. I know, sir.
Madam,
Madam, I know. Sir.
Shalini?
Yes, ma'am. Can I propose the vote of thanks?
Yes, ma'am.
On behalf of our institution, I would like to extend a wholehearted thanks to the special guest who has really spared his precious time from his busy schedule to grace this occasion. It has really been very helpful, sir, because many students who are just passing out of the college have no clue of what to do, and so many of them are already interested in taking out the competitive exams, but they're really confused and they have no guidance. But this section has been really very helpful for them to find their way, and it has been very supportive, sir. And I also would like to take a moment to thank our institution and the Department of Mathematics for arranging such a wonderful occasion. Thank you, all the students who have been very patient and took part in this occasion. Once again, I thank you all.
Thank you, Jalani.
Yes, ma'am.